There we are. Ta-da.
Hello,
We're
this
live.
is George.
And Bonnie. Mwah. And it's Tuesday.
The
And
tiny road to Yeshua.
we're still in Virginia.
And the noise you might be hearing in the background may be the generator because this part of their town has lost their power. And I doubt if you can even hear it, but if you do,
That's what it is.
that's what it is.
Thank God we got that.
Tonight's topic. Together or apart? And you don't even find out why I said that until way towards the end. It's going to be kind of short. Tom made fun of me tonight. We're at Tom and Yvonne's house. Again, being a pest to them, but
yeah, we're back. Oh, we're still
they're
here.
putting up with us.
Get our car
But anyway.
fixed. Get our car fixed.
Should we get started?
Yes, dear. Let's
Yeah,
go for
okay.
it. Margaret Ann says we can't do that.
I know. Okay. The beginning. Okay.
I had to wave at me.
Do you really want God's will? Or do you want your will be done? Everybody we know will state God's will and then complain when His will is not your will. Why? Because you really didn't want His will in the first place. Have you ever thought about John 5:19? Read it, sweetie.
Yeah, okay, fine. Therefore, Yeshua said this to them. Yes, indeed, I tell you that the Son cannot do anything on his own, but only what he sees the Father doing. Whatever the Father does, the Son does too.
5:19 really says, now, Yeshua states that. He tells you that He, the Son, cannot do anything on His own. Think about that statement. Think about it for a moment. And then, yes, is Yeshua showing us that His Father is in control? Not Him. Yeshua cannot do anything on His own. I believe that's what my sweetie just read.
That's what it says.
But only what He sees the Father doing. Whatever the Father does, the Son does too. Have you ever seen a child doing the same thing as he sees his father do? Copying what daddy does. Mimicking cutting the grass with his toy lawnmower, just like he sees dad do. Copying even how he crosses his legs, takes a drink, smokes a cigarette, hopefully candy. That child, your child, is portraying the same type of what he sees the Father doing. The Son does that too. We don't look at it as your son is inferior to you, no more than Adonai looked at his son as being inferior to him. No, when he does just like you, his father, then your son, you might say, is submissive to your habits. Your wants and desires are passed on down to your children and sometimes even goes as low as your grandchildren. And it could be for generations to come. You ever thought about that? What you do sometimes is passed down from son to son, daughter to daughter. Now, if Yeshua mimics his father, then you might say he takes orders on what he is supposed to do. By knowing the Father and obeying what his Father says, then like your son, when he grows up, your son and his son isn't inferior to either one. No, he is his own man. You might say your son is the image of you. Sometimes that's scary.
Yeah.
There comes a time when your son becomes equal with you. When you're old, like 72. You may not like it or even acknowledge it, but he has mimicked, copied, even filled your shoes. To the point of sometimes taking control of the situation. And at times, taking control of even you. Yeshua knew what God's will was, and he knew he was God's will for the Hebrews. Those two together show with submitting and obeying demonstrates his will. Those two, the Father and Son, perform that act with each other. Isn't that the ultimate for the Father to see? When the Son starts doing and respecting the parents so much that they start being like them, copying what they do. If your will is not God's will, then your will is to be inferior to Adonai's will. I never ever thought about that before, but I think it's true. That is just the opposite of Yeshua and his will with Adonai. They are one in their will. Whatever the Father does, the Son does too. John 5:23.
So that all may honor the Son as they honor the Father. Whoever fails to honor the Son is not honoring the Father who sent him.
Now that's stated that all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. The question is raised, if you honor Adonai, how much honor do you show or spread in or to society for by never using or worshiping Adonai the Son? How can you accomplish the Great Commission if you don't use or will even acknowledge what his true name was? Yeshua, the Son, never once stated, go make up a name. Use a Greek name to distance yourself. Then put the J on that Greek name, drop a few letters, then you will be following the true Messiah. No, he stated, Netanyahu or Matthew 7:15.
Beware of the false prophets. They come to you wearing sheep's clothing, but underneath they are hungry wolves.
Watch out for wolves in sheep clothing. Now that is telling you that somebody's trying to be something special. They come in as sheep, but they're really in wolves' clothing. Hi, George.
Hey, George.
All right.
Hey, Margaret.
Don't follow us. Don't even like us. You should hate us because we're not asking for one darn thing with your religion. No, you should hate us for what we stand for. That's true. Most people have no desire for the truth unless it's their truth. Which, by the way, doesn't necessarily have to line up with Yeshua or the Scriptures. Look at religion. Look at it around you have they turned out for the better? How